Hi guys, and welcome to my channel. Lisa here. I have an interesting case that I wanted to bring to your guys' attention. It's starting to make headlines now as it's working its way through the court system. It's about a trucker from Alaska who was arrested for murder. And the way he was found out is a date that he was on stole a memory card from his truck while he was out of the truck. And what was on that memory card was absolutely horrific. So buckle up, guys, and let's dive in. So I have this article from the Daily Mail that I wanted to read through, and we'll go over some of the details of this case. How a memory card from a trucker's cab stolen 4 years ago has led to grisly double murder trial of Brian Stephen Smith in Alaska. Brian Smith was charged in deaths of Kathleen Henry and Veronica Abochuk. He has pleaded not guilty to 14 charges, including murder and SA. So this article is dated February 5th, and it's saying that the trial has begun on this last Monday, so yesterday. So a trucker is on trial this week for double murder after a woman stole a memory card containing horrific footage of a killing from the cab of his vehicle. Brian Stephen Smith has been charged in the deaths of Kathleen Henry, 30, and Veronica Abochuk, who was 52 when her family reported her missing in February 2019, 7 months after they last saw her. So they reported her missing 7 months later. Now, I believe from what I've read, these women struggled with homelessness, possible drug use, and possible prostitution. So that could be a possibility as to why her family did not report her missing right away.
Kristen and Rebecca in the courtroom today, many tears and much pain as Veronica Abochuk's family seeks justice and healing. On the 5th floor of an Anchorage courthouse, so much love on a day of so much hurt.
They've spent time searching for VRA, and now that they have some answers, they're still left with many questions unanswered.
VRA is Veronica Abochuk, identified by police as a second known victim of Brian Smith, seen here in a picture taken a few years ago by her sister, and here as shown on her missing persons bulletin. Smith letting his lawyer do the talking.
To all these will waive reading of the charges and advisement of rights and enter a not guilty plea and ask for a jury trial.
What could Smith have thought, looking out into the courtroom and seeing this? A silent but powerful show of force that missing and murdered Indigenous women will not be forgotten. For one of Abochuk's sisters, grief too much to hold back as Smith entered the courtroom. For the family, knowing what happened is a small step forward, but healing a journey with many unanswered questions.
Like why this has happened to their family member.
Family members told K2U Abochuk liked her lifestyle of homelessness, of freedom, but they worried.
It was scary. We've always wanted the best for her.
Her niece, Tatak Muma, remembers her Auntie Veronica teaching her how to cook and the kindness she had.
Very sweet lady. She loved her kids. She loved everyone. I really miss that.
When she went missing 2 years ago, they worried, but never did they imagine it would end like this.
We didn't know what to think. We were hoping a better outcome.
Now, looking to each other for support, for strength to see justice through.
So it's saying here that prosecutors said that Smith lured Henry into a hotel room in Anchorage, Alaska in September of 2019, and then filmed her torture and her murder. Her body was later discovered along a highway.
Kathleen Henry, who last posted on Facebook just days before police say she was killed by this man, 48-year-old Brian Smith, a man who lived a seemingly quiet life here, where police have scoured the home as a crime scene. Neighbors say he mostly kept to himself.
He was doing a drone thing, and I found it in my yard, and he said it was his.
One day after the last time-stamped image from the memory card, an ad goes up on Facebook Marketplace under Smith's profile, selling a drone, a computer, and a monitor. Then, in mid-September, Smith's wife told KTUU someone broke into Smith's truck and stole his wallet, important documents, and a bag or briefcase containing various electronics, including a GoPro and phones. All of this before Henry's remains were discovered and before the video card turned up that led police to Smith.
What we do believe is that the suspect recorded himself the events that took place in the hotel room.
As for whether anyone else is involved,
Only suspect in this investigation is Brian Smith.
we spoke again today with Smith's wife, who told us she hasn't had a chance to speak with him since the arrest. She's horrified that he could be involved and wants to look him in the face and ask some difficult questions.
Smith, now 52, became a suspect in Henry's murder after a digital memory card was stolen from the center console of his cab and turned over to police. The card featured gruesome photos and videos of the killing and a voice saying, "In my movies, everyone always dies." The card was turned over to police, who recognized the voice as that of Smith, a South African native who now lives in Alaska. They knew of Smith from a prior investigation, court documents say. Smith was arrested in October of 2019 and allegedly admitted to shooting another woman in 2017 or 2018. The second victim was identified as Abuchuk, whose remains had been found along a highway earlier in 2019. He has pleaded not guilty to 14 charges, including first and second degree murder, SA, and tampering with evidence. The woman who found the SD card got into a truck with Smith when he picked her up for a date near downtown Anchorage. When he left her alone in the vehicle, the woman, who had a lengthy criminal history including theft, assault, and prostitution, stole the digital memory card from the center console. The card contained photos and videos of a woman being beaten and strangled at a Marriott hotel. Her attacker was heard speaking in a strong accent as he urged her to die. This is awful. "In my movies, everybody always dies," the voice says on one video. "What are my followers going to think of me? People need to know when they are being serial killed." There was also footage of her blanket-covered body being taken outside on a luggage cart. After taking the SD card, the woman waited about a week before handing it over to police, who identified the suspect as Smith. Authorities say Henry's death was recorded at the Town Place Suites by Marriott, a hotel in Midtown Anchorage. Smith was registered to stay there from September 2nd to September 4th, 2019. The first images showing Henry's body were time-stamped at about 1 a.m. on September 4th. The last images on the card were taken early on September 6th and showed Henry's body in the back of a black pickup, according to the charging documents. Location data showed that at the time the photo was taken, Smith's phone was in the area of Rainbow Valley Road along the Seward Highway south of Anchorage, the same area where Henry's body was found several weeks later. As detectives interrogated Smith about the Marriott case, authorities said he offered up more information to police who escorted him to a bathroom. He allegedly admitted to having killed another woman and went on to identify her as Abhishek. With no prompting, he tells police in the bathroom he's going to make them famous. He comes back in and says, "You guys got some more time? You want to keep talking?" And then discusses this other murder. Alaska State Troopers in 2018 incorrectly identified another body as that of Abhishek because Abhishek's ID had been discovered with it for reasons that remain unclear.
Maria and Rebecca, as we now know, Smith is accused of killing 2 women years apart, with police closing in only after home video of one of the killings fell into police hands and became a key piece of evidence. In a 2 Investigates exclusive, his wife walks us through what she knows. This happy, doting husband is the man Stephanie Bisland said she married. The man accused of murdering vulnerable women, someone she doesn't recognize.
I've never seen anything that dark in him.
She said the South African immigrant who became a citizen in September loved Alaska so much he chronicled his adventures on YouTube.
This is the beaver dam.
He loved the outdoors, loved gizmos like this drone he's flying, and recorded life's events.
And there you can see the snow.
His distinct voice and his known connection to a separate investigation police will not discuss helped investigators close in.
We were familiar with what we were seeing and hearing on the video that were able to help us identify him as the suspect in this investigation.
Police spent 12 hours searching the couple's home. Among the items they collected, electronics and handfuls of SD cards.
So I guess that's what they are. And I don't use them, but I don't have cameras, and they didn't take this.
Perhaps not surprising, since police say a memory card containing key evidence led them to Smith.
I'm not going to get into the details of the video. It's very graphic.
In the garage, in the space where Smith parked his truck, mounds of stuff. Pulled there, Bisland says, by police as they combed through storage and dark corners. Inside, they searched an office.
They took all my thumb drives.
A bedroom.
They didn't take any of the bedding, but they took the
Carpet.
Yeah, carpet.
A crawl space.
I cannot tell you what Brian had exactly. He had a couple of rifles. I think he had a couple of pistols.
And a basement living area.
Then they pushed everything back here, and we're looking around, and then they decided that they didn't like something they saw on the rug.
The something was a positive test for blood. So they cut out a nearly 9-foot by 10-foot swath and hauled it away. So they've been taking weapons, knives, guns.
Yeah, my computer and his laptop.
All of it bewildering for Bisland, whose husband, a standout hotel employee and new citizen, seemed to have so much going for him. She hopes their magical memories are as real as they felt, but the alleged brutality and betrayal have cast doubt.
When I think about that, I think, how could I have missed it? How can you miss something like that, you know?
And with all that's happened, that certainty has washed away.
So what I think is so crazy about this case is that this lady who found the SD card, his date, could have easily been his next victim. How that didn't happen, I don't know, but she literally stopped a serial killer in his tracks. She's actually a hero, in my opinion. So kudos to her for turning that in. I'm sure she's quite traumatized by what she saw, and I pray that she's doing okay. I also think what's interesting about this case is we have another truck driver who was basically a serial killer or on his way to being one. Now, I also wonder if there weren't other victims, maybe not in Alaska, because I'm sure they did an in-depth, investigation, but who knows, they may end up finding other victims, being that he was going after women that are typically homeless, probably don't have a lot of family that are reporting them missing, may have possible drug problems. But I also wonder about South Africa. That is where he came from. And it makes me wonder, are there victims there? Is there an investigation going on in South Africa as well? So anyways, guys, let me know what you think of this story in the comments, and as it goes through the court system, I will keep you guys updated on it. I also wanted to take a quick second and thank everyone who has been subscribing, liking, and commenting on my videos, supporting my channel. I can't tell you guys how much I appreciate that. Thank you guys so, so very much. And that is it for today's video. So all of you stay safe out there, and I'll see you in the next one.